meet new people. I want to share my music. I want to share my energy. I want to, I want to get new impulses and new inspiration. Like we only live this life once, and I have to get the most out of it. And I want to get the most out of my music as well.
Sure.
It's hard to say you're missing one, feeling like you're missing one piece of the puzzle that completes the mystery of being one. The other half, the better one, feels like this journey I'm on is never done.
And welcome to your channel and our show.
We've missed you.
In case you don't know, we host events here in Toronto. Check it out on our website, basicsays.com. Of course, I'm not going on now because of pandemic.
Unfortunately.
And we have our popular Facebook, especially Instagram, Basic Says. And one of the reasons why I decided to do these shows is because you want to showcase guys, not just because they're handsome or beautiful,
but they're also talented.
They have talent. There's someone behind the picture. We're going to talk to this talented rapper. He's a songwriter, he's a musician, he guys want to be an actor.
And he's the first openly gay rapper in Norway.
Yes, you heard well, Norway. So we're going to talk to Big Daddy Karsten.
Yes.
Yes, we are here in Toronto. He's where?
Norway. Oslo, Norway.
So check it out.
Jeg savner deg fortsatt, ting er mye bedre. Faktisk så bra at ingen jeg kan se det, men jeg tenker på deg hver dag. Håper at du hadde en trygg reise, og at himmelen er bedre. Du skulle sett til, ja. Selv om ikke den er jeg ser deg, så får jeg snaps av Kim og Maja, som viser at det er bra med han. Mikkel er stolt, jeg håper at du ser han.
Hey Big Daddy, how are you?
Daddy.
Hey guys, how are you? I'm good.
Good.
We're good.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
So glad
Welcome
to have
to
you.
Oslo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And welcome to Toronto. Sort of.
Thanks.
No way. How did you start your career?
Well, music has always been like a big part of my family. My mother was an opera singer, and my mom and my dad pushed instruments and singing lessons and stuff like that on me from like a very early age. But I found rap when I was like 11, 12. My dad had this tenant who rented a room in his house after my mom and dad got divorced, and he always listened to rap. So I started like knocking on his door, trying to get in there and hear the music. And after a while, he got annoyed with me, I guess. So he recorded a 2-pack album from CD to cassette, so I could listen to it on my own. And like when I was like 13, I was like, oh, I need to rap. So I started like writing rhymes, and they sucked, but it's always like that, I think, when you first start out at something. So yeah, that's how I got into rapping. Like I always knew that I wanted to do some form of stage thing, or something that had to do with music or a stage or acting or something like that. But yeah, rap really conquered my heart really early on, and I've stuck with it since.
It was love at first sight.
Yeah. How was your mother's reaction?
My mother's reaction? Yeah. Well, my mom always wanted me to sing, but she was also very persistent that I had to find my artistic expression. And she understood that I really loved rapping. So at first she was like a little taken aback by like the explicit language of the artists I was listening to and stuff like that. But once she understood like how much I actually loved this and that it wasn't just like a phase, she was really supportive. Like when my first group released our first album, she like wore our merch to school. She had like our group name sticker on her car. She was real supportive. She was, and she was teaching singing at a high school at that point. So she was like viewed as like the classical singing diva of the school, and people were pretty like shocked when they saw her come to school with like the folky fiend t-shirt. And this wasn't like cute gay rap about sucking dicks. This was like really pretty hardcore rap about like selling drugs and beating people up. So it was yeah, she was amazing. She was.
And
yeah.
Did you come out eventually to her or never?
Yeah, I started coming out to my mom. She didn't know I was 100% gay, but I started like talking to her about my sexuality around like the same year she died. And one of our last, she didn't like take it too well to begin with. And I was kind of like surprised by that, because she always had like gay friends and non-binary friends and stuff like that. But like one of the last talks we had in the hospital before she passed was about she knowing what kind of media attention this was going to get when I first came out. And she was like so sad about not being able to be there for me when that going to happen. And it was a really heartfelt, and I treasure that conversation a lot. And it meant the world to me to know that like before she passed that I had her full support.
That's
for
really nice.
for that part of me. Yeah.
And sorry for the loss. Yeah, true. Same time.
Mm.
So,
How's it being a musician in Norway?
Yeah, well, being a musician in Norway, I think, is like being a musician in most like smaller countries. We're like a really small country. We're only like 5.4 million people in total. So it's you know, it's good. It's a bit harder to get a bigger audience when you perform in your native tongue, because the people who listen, like the amount of people that can potentially relate to you is so much smaller than when you do it in English, because there's so many more people. And obviously, not everybody wants to hear me rap about getting my ass fucked and sucking dick. So it's quite like a limited audience for sure. So, but like last year, I was able to live off it for a good while, just like doing concerts and paid radio interviews and TV pilots and stuff like that. But then when Corona came around, I had to crawl back into an office and start being a salesman again, because like there's not many shows, and I wasn't like in any means getting rich. Like it was like a bare minimum income, but I was able to do what I love, and that was more important at the time. Yeah. So, but like I hope that when things opens up again, now that I rap in English, that it will be possible for me to like reach larger audiences and play more, of course. So fingers crossed for that.
What is gay life like in Norway, especially like bear life?
Well, like we have a really liberal. It is a very liberal country for same-sex attraction. But once again, like it's a small country, so the bear scene is fairly small, but it's very good, and we have a club called Norske Bamseklubben, which is like Norway bears. You've seen the Bear City movies, right? The T-shirt that Roger wears with a construction worker on it. That's a T-shirt from our bear club. Yeah, but it's like I think we're like 1,000 members, but a lot of them is like anonymous and spread over the country. So here in Oslo, we're like, I think we're like 100, 150 people, which is like registered members of the Norwegian Bear Club. But the Norwegian Bear Club does an amazing job, though. They put on amazing events and are really including for like everyone. And that's super nice. And when I came out, I was approached really early and by other like bears in Oslo, and was like, okay, well, you have a community with us. If you feel like you want one and need one, we're here. And everyone I've talked to who like are like obviously bears get like approached really early to let them know that there's a community that loves you and appreciates you and wants you to be happy and wants to include you in our community. Well, it's a super nice club, and as I've understood it, it's been around for like 20 years. Started really small, and they've like slowly built it up. And also, there's other. We have like five gay bars, including the fetish bar, which is called SLM, Scandinavian Leathermen, which I also appreciate a lot. Nice club with a nice bar. It's upstairs is like a nice like lounge area, and downstairs there's a little dungeon where naughty stuff can happen. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it's a good but fairly small community. And that's how it has its perks and it has its negatives as well.
Yes,
so yeah,
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And how is to be a Norway's only gay rapper, openly gay rapper? And have you treated you different, or the rappers treat you different because of that, or because Norway is more open, not being so big deal? Good question.
I definitely get treated differently. Like I've been a figure in Norwegian rap for a long time. I was like, when the way I made my name in Norway was mainly off of battle rap, and at the time that battle rap league had a deal with Norway's largest online newspaper, so all the battles got posted on there. And the way people treat me is fairly different, because now I've been put pretty much in like the gay rapper box. It's not like they don't acknowledge my skills or understand that what I do is professional and good. It's more like it's harder. I think it's harder for them to relate to me in the same sense. I think it's kind of weird though, because I can appreciate like a little dirty raps about heterosexual content, but I guess it's harder being on the being the majority, having to accept the minority, than it is for the minority having to accept the majority in that kind of sense. So people don't tell me negative stuff to my face, but I definitely hear like talking about what people like actually think. So there's like a lot of fake smiles, a lot of genuine ones too. So it's people will always find something they don't like about you anyways. So if it's gonna be for my sexuality, that's their case. And I know that there are others, they just don't want to come out, they don't dare to come out, or just think that they don't have to and it's not important to them. And I think more is going to come out as time goes. And I kind of appreciate like being the pioneer, like being the first one. I'm like, they've already written about me in Norwegian hip hop history books and stuff like that, and that's special to me. I was the first at something, so that's fun. Yeah.
I just speak about this straight. How they react when they hear some of your songs, your lyrics sometimes, or this the ones in English you could listen, understand.
Yeah, the ones
can be very sexual. How they deal with that sex with men? It's not just.
Would you say most of your songs are geared to the gay community as opposed to,
or just yourself, being yourself? That's
like rap is supposed to be a representation of who you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my music has like kind of evolved with me. When I was younger and I was like into like, I did like when I was doing the gangster rap thing, I was kind of a gangster, but that doesn't like doesn't feel natural to me anymore. Like rapping about those kind of stuff. So I think it's important for me to rap about what matters to me at the time I'm rapping about it, or like at least making a song. So of course there's a lot of gay, sex, berry stuff in my music these days. And yeah, it's a lot of sexual content. It is, but it's also other stuff as well. Like the last bear mix I did, the I'm Ready thing, it didn't have one sexual innuendo, not even a swear word. So I'm a versatile artist because I'm a versatile guy. Like I have different emotions. I have different things that take up my interest or my life, and it's important for me to get all of the aspects out. But if I'm hung up on something, the theme can be clear in my music for a good period of time. And I don't think I'm going to get tired of sucking dick anytime soon. So it's probably going to be a lot more of that kind of stuff in the future as well. Yeah.
But the straight guys react funny about it. They don't really pay attention.
Or do they don't even go to your concerts?
So let's check out the slings if you like cute, tight, and heavy. Dude, I am ready for what you wanna let me do to your belly. If I'm rude, do correct me, but it's you who erect me. So with all due respect, please douche for injecting. Damn, am I moving too fast? Just can't stop thinking about what I wanna do with that ass. I've been with girls, but that's rude.
Some people like it a lot because it's so different than what they're used to. Some people can enjoy it just for the technical aspects of what I do, and some people don't want to listen to it because I guess it's too explicit for them in that kind of sense.
Have you had people leave concerts because of that?
It has happened a couple of times when I've done straight venues. I once got attacked as well last summer. This guy thought he could beat me up for being gay, and he ended up getting beat up himself. So too bad for him.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen all that. It's not much of a confrontational vibe about it. There's very few that talks loudly about what they think of the content if they don't like it. It's not like a huge issue. And people also, when you book me for a show, you know what you're booking. Like you've seen, you know who I am if you book me for a show, because it's going to cost you a pretty penny, at least in Norway. So people don't want to book me for events that they don't think I will fit into, or where like their audience won't appreciate what I do. But like sometimes that happens as well. If I'm doing like with one of the first gigs I did after I came out was a show called Norwegian Hip Hop History, where it was like the most influential rap acts of the past 10 years. And I was on there. And it's only like when I do like 2 or 3 songs. Every artist do it like that, and it was in one of the biggest concert venues in Oslo. And like a few people, like my friend told me like there was like 2 or 3 people out of 1,000 who left the venue. So it's not a big issue at all, to be honest. But a lot of those people who were at that concert probably wouldn't go to a regular Big Daddy Karsten show,
Right.
if you get me. I've done the Oslo Pride Parade show. It's like that's thousands of people, and there's families there as well. And I didn't get any negative backlash from that. So I guess it's a little bit about where you are and what you represent when you do what I do. But like I played in my harness, pretty much rapping about, yeah, I'm gay. You can't fuck with me either way. I used to sell drugs and beat people up. I didn't get any backlash from that. So.
Tänk dig fra en mindre gutt, miljoner kärlek. Drömmen mina rapping om manfolk med tatuering. Manfolk med tatuering. Jobben med tatuering. Drömmen mina rapping om manfolk med tatuering. Tänk dig fra en mindre gutt, miljoner kärlek. Drömmen mina rapping om manfolk med tatuering.
You and I, we're big guys. So when I saw you showing your belly, your fingers in concerts and performers, how people react? How do you deal with body positivity in this sense? Because not just being gay, you also are big.
Yeah.
Lots of issues.
Well, for me, it's something I think about for sure. And of course, you will always be a little subconscious about being as big as I am, like counting in the norm. But when I'm on that stage, and when I do pull off my t-shirt and I'm in that vibe, I don't really think about it at all. I just feel sexy and cool, and I don't think about it at all. Like, I think about it if somebody mentions it in a negative sense, but then I either just clap back or I don't think of that much of it. But I do think some of it, of course. I think that's only natural. And I think that's why it's so important that I do what I do as well. Because I'm thinking that if somebody can see me doing that and feeling and at least at least looking confident doing it, maybe that can give someone confidence to be more okay with their body as well. And let's be honest, a lot of people find big guys like us attractive. And it's important to let people know that what you see on posters or on TV or what is considered sexy doesn't necessarily mean that it's sexy for everybody, and that everyone can be sexy when they feel their confidence coming through. Because confidence is hot. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So it's very much about how you carry yourself. If you're a big guy, or if you're a skinny guy, or if you're a muscular guy, it's about how you present yourself and how you own who you are and what you look like.
Guys, they send pictures for us, or as it says, you tell sometimes some guys, confidence is halfway. If you have confidence, if it shows in picture, is way more powerful than just a good picture. Definitely. Because if you show like afraid or showing not sure what you're showing about yourself, it's going to be easy to see, and it won't work. It won't be the same. That's why I would also say that.
But I would also say that sending an Instagram account with 30,000 followers in let's be honest, like not much clothing, it's a very right step in the right direction of gaining your confidence as well. So I will applaud anyone that are willing to let so many people see you in that kind of setting, no matter your body type. It's a big step in feeling comfortable with yourself.
I see some guys through the time they get more confidence. From the first very shy, they start growing. Some guys now see way open about everything. It's very cool to see the growth. Something that is beginning.
Yeah, and I guess you guys, like a lot of people who send you pictures again, right? And I'm guessing that you can see like the development in them when they do it for the second time around or third time around. So that's amazing.
Better, they get more confident, and then later you see them on Twitter or OnlyFans, like, oh, they're really going to. It's very funny.
And I also want to say though, if you're not comfortable about showing yourself off like that, that's not a bad thing either. Like, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone to. If you don't feel if you don't like it, then don't do it. But if you have this thing inside of you that like, I want to show people who I am. I want to show people how beautiful I am. Go for it. Send your picture to Bears in Excess.
Yes.
Do that.
How you did?
Yes.
You did that. That's how I met.
Yeah.
That's how it started.
Yeah, of course.
How did you start being an activist for the LGTBQIA plus community?
When I first came out, I was like really like, oh, I don't want to be the homo rapper. I want to be the rapper that is gay. But like, it kind of like developed naturally because as soon as I came out, I understood the importance of people speaking out, and I was all of a sudden getting all this media attention, and it became important to me to be a voice for good in our cause. So, and I've always been like I told you before, like rap is supposed to be a representation of who you are and what you stand for and what's important to you. So I thought, well, if I can like rap honestly about having done all this bad stuff and also be honest about how I felt about like when my mom died or other stuff like that, I really should be honest and loud about this thing that is so important, especially when it comes to for me, I think that the trans cause is like the most pressing right now. So I try to be very loud about that, about trans rights. But every time people give me an opportunity to talk about gay rights or stuff that is positive for our community, like PrEP or stuff like that, I will always say yes, and I will always do it. And I want to be one of those people who makes a difference. And it's become really, really important to me over the past like 4 years. So I've been speaking about PrEP on the national news in Norway. I engage in the fight to make conversion therapy illegal, stuff like that. So I always try to get involved in the best way possible. That if I think that I can be a positive voice, and that just like me being me fits the description of making things better, I will always want to help and always want to be like a positive voice for our community.
The next question.
Yes. So until recently, most of your songs have been written in Norwegian, and you recently changed to include English. Why?
Yeah. Well, I want to reach more people, and I feel it's much more easier to relate to me when you actually understand what I'm saying. I've also changed up my style a little, and it's also like a new challenge for me. I feel like I can do like anything in Norwegian when it comes to rap, and I want to be in that same position when it comes to English. Of course, it's going to be harder since it's my second language, but that also gives me just like fuel for the fire, because it gives me another challenge. It gives me something new to conquer, like a new subgenre or something like that. And I always want to challenge myself. And also, I want to be booked to Texas Bear Roundup. I want to be booked to Tidal Wave. I want to rap at Bear Weekend in P-Town. I'm not going to do that by rapping in 140 BPM in Norwegian. So it's to reach out to a larger audience, and also maybe be able to explore the world of bears even more. And I hope that I will be able to do that.
How would it be for you to write in English compared to Norwegian? So, especially rap, you use a lot of words, many things going on. How do you handle that? Well,
of course, it's easier for me to rap, not to write in Norwegian than it is to write in English. But my mom started teaching English very early. She got her degree from the London Opera Center. So she lived in London for 5 years before she moved back to Norway and became a mother. And she really understood the importance of being a good English, being good at speaking English. So I feel like I have a pretty strong vocabulary, even though it's not my first language. And sometimes I have to reach for the dictionary to make sure that I'm using words right. But that's cool as well. Like, I get to be better at English because of this. So I welcome the challenge very much.
Well, for us, it's good.
I love
we
it.
Understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's good for us.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he said that.
So, like I don't know if you know this, but I'm an English teacher.
Oh, you are? Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
So
Yeah.
I'm very
So
impressed with your English.
You are? Oh, that
Yeah.
means so much to me. Thank you.
Especially here,
That's cool.
English second language.
Yeah. How long have you been studying English?
Studying English. Well, I never like studied English, but we get taught English from the first grade in school in Norway. So yeah, like my mom started teaching English very early. We get taught English from the first day at school to the last day at high school. And of course, like, I listen to a lot of rap music and a lot of like movies and TV series and stuff like that is in English too. And I also always had a lot of like immigrant friends. So for communication to work, it was important to be good at speaking English. So I have never like gone to like a university for English or anything like that. But it's always been important to me to be able to speak it well. But I had a lot of insecurities about rapping in English, most because of like my pronunciation, and I didn't want to sound stupid, and like I didn't want it to sound like Norwenglish, if you understand what I'm saying. So when I did it for the first time for the Best Friend remix.
Oops, oh, I did it again. Got drunk with the homies and put my dick in my friend. I guess I'm just a hoe.
And when I heard that after I recorded it, was like, okay, well, this is a good starting point. This is a good place to start, and I can actually do this well. So from now on, I'm just gonna do everything in English and push myself to become better and better. And that's mainly why I do those. I don't know if you've noticed, like, the bear mixes that I do, that I remix other rappers' songs, and just like what we call in rap is like a freestyle, not like on the top of your head, not like improvisation, but it means that you just write whatever you want on instrumental, and you just rap it, and you rap and you rap and you rap and you rap and rap. So the bear mixes that I do and put out on my YouTube is like my dojo sessions, my training sessions, me mastering the craft. Yeah, I take it very seriously. I don't want to half-ass it. I want to make sure that it is as good as it can be.
Do you remember, for the preferred concert, do you remember the lyrics properly, or sometimes you forget to just, you know?
Well, you know, if a song is new, or if it's at the end of the show and I'm really tired, like I'm out of breath, I sometimes you forget a bar or a word. But that's also why I have my backup rapper on there, so we can fill in the blanks if I fuck up. But you know, no, I don't memorize all the stuff I do, because it's not all the stuff I do that I'm going to perform live. But I like to think that I have a fairly good memory, and that I am able to get out my content for the most part.
Actually, speaking of collaboration, when I met you, started talking, you're releasing Best Friend. So how is to work with Ferdinand?
I made it up on the first day, and I did so many things that I wouldn't do to you, 'cause I should never do you.
Oh, it's amazing to work with Ferdinand. Ferdinand is such a firecracker, you know. He's got very strong opinions about what he want to do, and he's very creative and very talented and has a very clear vision. But he's also open to listening to what other people think as well. And he's very young, and it's very cool to get that kind of fire and inspiration, like in the room when you are creating new music, and especially when you are because doing like the kind of pop stuff that like Best Friend and Cancelled are is kind of out of my comfort zone, because I've been doing like trap and grime and boom bop and like harder, more like subgenre hip hop things. So I feel like I learn a lot from Ferdinand when I work with Ferdinand, even though he's a much younger artist than me. And I think that I can be a good influence on him as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a good fit for us to work together. Definitely.
And how was your work with Cancel? How did it start? What was the process to write that?
School, cancel, gym.
It started with Oslo Pride announcing that they were going to have a competition to get the official Oslo Pride song for 2020. And I messaged Ferdinand, and I also messaged Are, which is my live DJ, and he also produces and mixes a lot of my stuff. And he's working a lot with Ferdinand as well, so it felt like natural to include those two in the process. So we did like we only spent like 4 or 5 hours in the studio all together for making the song. We found a reference track that we really liked, and we thought, okay, we want to do something like this, but not like the exact same thing. And it was a good creative process. And we went very far in the competition as well. We came in second. And not to be shady, but our Cancel is streamed a lot more than the winners, so I don't know. But yeah, it was. That's pretty much how it came about, and how it ended up the way it did.
What are your plans for after the pandemic?
Oh, I want to go to other countries to perform. We also plan on doing a club tour in Norway. I just want to do a lot of music as well. I also want to get into a little acting as well. I have sort of an acting background too, so I would like to explore that more. Yeah, so just getting out new music and perform and travel, and yeah, that's pretty much everything that's on my mind right now, because I fucking love what I do, and due to the circumstances, I'm not able to do what I love the most in the proper way. Like I do a lot of like streaming shows and stuff like that, but it's not the same. I miss interacting with the audience. I miss making people. I miss making people lose their shit and scream and go crazy. I miss backstage blowjobs. I miss I miss a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's all that's on my mind. I really want to come out to the States and collaborate with other artists and perform. Yeah, for sure. I want to go to Canada. Hell yeah. I want to go. I want to go to I want to anywhere in the world that would like to get a show or want me to perform there. I would want to go. Like I want to meet new people. I want to want to share my music. I want to share my energy. I want to, and I want to get new impulses and new inspiration. Like we only live this life once, and I have to get the most out of it. And I want to get the most out of my music as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Speak about that. You have a new website, or at least a new visual.
Yeah. We've translated it. We've translated the website. It's yeah. See, it's on there. Oh, great. It's okay. This is fucking with me, but yeah, it's it's on there. BigDaddyKarsten.no.
Yes.
So go in there. Look, there's music videos on there. There's scheduled shows. There's links to my Instagram and press photos and news, and it's also links to articles written about me and stuff like that. So if you want to get to know who I am a little more, BigDaddyKarsten.no is a great way to start.
How was it to be part of the Digital Bear Weekend 1 and 2?
Oh, you know what? It was like, I feel so blessed to be able to collaborate with Bear World. Ever since they came over my stuff in March, they have been the best. I fucking love them. Both Robin and Richard and Kyle. They've been amazing, and to be invited to performing with Bear artists of such high stature as the guys that are on, like Paul Middleton, Big Dipper, DDM, Tom Gauze, Meatball, like big names in the Bear community. I feel humbled by it all, and it's really special to me, for real. It is.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna do a third one eventually, so I guess there'll be more.
Well, there is a Bear City 3.
Yes.
Watch along.
Yeah, I watch the Bear City films religiously. I watch them many times a year, and I fucking love them. And being able to be in the chat room with like a lot of the actors is almost a little surreal. I have a little unrealistic dream of once getting to play a small role in a Bear City movie. It probably will never happen, but it's like a low key dream of mine. Yeah, because when I came out and I didn't know anything about bear culture, though people told me to watch those movies, and they kind of like changed my life and my perspective on bear culture, and yeah, I love those movies and I love those characters, and it's like I know some of those characters. They live up the street from where I live. Like it's you know what I'm saying, right? So it's amazing to see them in movies like that. It's brilliant.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yes, really.
I appreciate it so much. And you guys have had my back since even before I started rapping in English, and you guys mean the world to me. And you're such a positive part of our community. And I hope you know that how much the job you do means to bears around the world. So thank you guys.
So nice. So don't forget, check his website.
Yes,
Big Daddy Karsten, so you can hear his song. He's on Spotify. He's everywhere. And he's a very cool guy. So very happy that you could talk to him.
Yeah. So
thank you, Karsten. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to your channel, please. Like our video, watch your other videos. I have other interviews already. The Bear Success Show, and
most importantly, stay fluffy.